Hey everybody, Jake here, and once more are my two esteemed partners, Jordan and Dave, for another trailer
Sounds like a
analysis.
promotion.
Let's roll.
Yeah. So this trailer analysis is Ant-Man.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, gentlemen?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, better than I thought. Oddly more serious than I thought for such a heavy comedic cast.
Yes.
Especially with Paul Rudd.
I like
Yeah.
the suit a lot too.
And I like that it looks like they're going for, not the same vein as Guardians. It'll definitely be funny because of Paul Rudd, but it's not going to
You don't want to be too funny with
a
this.
gas-based comedy.
So Ant-Man's already a laughed at character.
Well, I think if
Enough.
they treat it like that,
They treat it like
this new comic series
yeah,
is
this
doing, or
new comic series we encourage.
the couple
Which
of years ago.
I actually did pick up the comic series, have not yet read it, released
I was
from the time of this recording, so I just picked up yesterday. But
So if
The
we can go in,
biggest
if we can go into the
surprise,
movie like we did that first issue, because like
it looks like they're going that same way.
Yeah.
From what I gather.
hopefully
with,
it's you picked it up like the
Kind of on
comic
a
issue,
whim.
then you're gonna go and watch the movie. We'll see, and then it turns out to be really good. So
Yeah.
looks like
I'm
they're
hoping
going
that's what the movie can provide.
that direction with Paul Rudd's going to be the Scott Lang
Yeah.
iteration of the character.
For those
Looks
who don't
like
know,
he's
he's the second.
yeah,
Ant-Man.
so, with a lot of the Marvel, or not just Marvel, but a lot of the superheroes. There have been many different iterations. Like Hank Pym was the very first one.
created the Pym particles.
Yeah.
The shrinking. I really don't know that much about Ant-Man.
Yeah, there have been
Yeah.
different Captain Americas as well, and all that stuff. But yeah, so like I don't really know a whole lot about Ant-Man, but when I first heard that they were making a movie of it, I was kind of like,
It was laughable, but right now, in the kind of age we are, especially with Marvel, and
Yeah.
I think Guardians cemented that they can really do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They can pull the most obscure characters,
and make a really good film out of
the
it.
most seemingly silly, ones on paper that would just be the worst idea. I think they've kind of cemented themselves as being able to make really good
Yeah.
films.
Because my main
Based on
thing
that?
was again, I will admit that I don't know a whole lot about Ant-Man at all. Like I've only recently started to kind of like look up and like just the history. and
Yeah, I
stuff
don't know
like
a
that.
whole lot about him.
But yeah, like when I first heard that they were making a movie, I was like, can Ant-Man really like sustain its own movie? Like I figured like it would have been better to like introduce him in like a movie prior to that and then see how well it does.
that's what I thought
But-
they were
Put
originally
them
gonna
in
do.
Avengers.
But I think with Marvel though, at this point they can take a risk.
Easily.
I mean, obviously they took a
They
huge
already-
risk
they've
with
already have.
Guardians. So I mean, even if Ant-Man does turn out to be a huge flop, then it's like, whatever.
I mean, Iron Man was really ambitious when it came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, but with that trailer, I'm really a lot more hopeful than
Yeah.
I was just looking at it or reading about it. Like, oh, it's Ant-Man.
You said the suit too. It was another thing. There's a lot of those. What looks good on the paper
Yeah.
isn't going to translate to the screen very well, but it translated a lot better.
Yeah, from what we
Yeah.
saw,
Would've thought.
it looked pretty good. And,
Him riding the ants or whatever didn't look
Mhm.
as cheesy or silly as you
Yeah.
might think.
Well, I mean, yeah, I kind of feel like you kind of have to have him riding some kind of bug, like an ant or something.
Yes.
he's got.
Because, he did do that in
When
the
that's
comics.
part of the, it communicates with the ants, and
Yeah.
I think they'll take the more comedic approach of like, yeah, I get it, this is kind of stupid, but it's also kind of cool. Because,
Yeah. Because, again,
look
even,
what
in
I
the,
can do.
even in the trailer when, like, Hank Pym, played by Michael Douglas, is explaining to,
Good old Michael.
he's explaining to Paul Rudd,
Bearded
Scott
and,
Lang, he's kind of, like, explaining to him, I guess, all the stuff about, the costume, and he's just like, is it too late to change the name?
Yeah.
Almost like, obviously they're
Mine-
kind of
yeah.
poking fun of the fact that Ant-Man
Yeah, which is what the
sounds
comic
kinda
book
silly.
did in the first issue, which is why I think it succeeded so well
Mm-hmm.
because everyone knows Ant-Man's kind of lame.
Yeah.
When you're talking about it, thinking about it, yeah, it's lame. So I think with this movie and that comic book at the same time, they're trying to do the character some justice
Yeah.
and show him that he can be kind of
It's a sense
cool.
of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what
And they're kind of making fun of
writing and what you do
Ant-Man
with it.
from the past.
Yeah. But that is kind of the beauty with like these reimaginings of these superheroes is they can take the flaws the flaws of like previous iterations and kind of be like, all right, let's kind of embrace that, but at the same time again reimagine them to where we can kind of give them a bit more credibility.
Don't make fun of myself too hard, but enough to where I know I was lame, but I want to be cool now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sort of bring the audience. The audience is kind of in on it.
Yeah.
Make the audience root for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Though, to my understanding, I guess from reading first issue of Ant-Man, and I guess what I've just kind of picked up here and there is Scott Lang is basically some sort of like ex-con, and they show his daughter, and that he wants to shape up, and I know in the comics he steals the Ant-Man suit.
Yeah, because I think
and Hank Pym for whatever reason just lets him. I'm not sure if that's the way it seems like it's going to be more of a redemption story.
I think like
he's going to steal the
daughter.
suit.
Because I'm pretty sure his daughter has like some kind of medical condition or something like that, and that's the reason. Because I forget like who puts him up to like stealing the suit.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically they're like, yeah, you gotta steal the suit, and then we can, I guess, give you the cure or whatever, or the proper medical attention your daughter needs. So that kind of looks like the direction they're going with. Because I know originally, like when they cast Michael Douglas as Ant-Man, people were like, what?
So old though.
Yeah,
but it makes sense for him to be Hank Pym.
Yeah, I'm a Paul Rudd fan, but when they cast him as Ant-Man, I was like, is this going to be a comedy?
Because originally, I know they were looking at Simon Pegg as Ant-Man. Which,
I don't know that really works either.
I'd rather have Rudd.
Yeah. I mean,
I like Simon Pegg, but I just
I don't know if I like him in that role.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't see it at all.
But I really didn't see Rudd in this. If we would have,
I saw Rudd more than I see Simon.
Yeah,
Pegg.
but like if we're say we had a podcast about who we thought would be Ant-Man before they announced all this, I don't even think we'd come up with Paul Rudd, would we?
I probably wouldn't have any ideas.
I'd think more action-like guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you were, I guess it's not the most illogical choice if you're
not at all. But I'm just thinking
comedic
between us
turn
three, it's like
I
don't think we really would have even thought about it.
No, because you probably still would have gone for more serious.
Not comparing the movies, but like you had Seth Rogen and Green Hornet, which that just totally flops. So
didn't see it, but haven't heard anything that movie
just that kind of thing where it's the casting throws you off, but it may pay off. And so far in the short trailer, it looked like it could be doable. And
Which, if you listen to the last one, I think is something they were trying to do with Fantastic Four as well.
Yeah.
Just seems like what DC I think is doing a lot in general too, is to just kind of shock everybody with the casting.
Yeah.
Shock the world.
Yeah, and I worry that it's just kind of for the shock value of it, and to get people talking about it, rather than these are the best people to play these characters.
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
But back on point.
But yeah, again, after seeing the trailer, I kind of think Ant-Man will be successful.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
More hopeful.
Like, will it be, the most successful Marvel movie? Well, probably not. Won't be their best one, but I think it will be successful enough to where,
Yeah.
Probably.
Comes out in August, right?
I believe
it was supposed to be November there.
I think they moved
towards the end of the year.
I thought it was
pushed it up, which I'm glad. So.
Yeah, feel free to correct us here once this actually airs on the YouTube. But I'm pretty sure it comes out this fall, like August.
End of summer, kind of like Guardians did. So.
Yeah. But I'm actually
feeling a lot more positive about it.
Yeah, good vibes we got going right here. Good old Ant-Man bringing us together.
Who would have thought?
I know. Yeah, seriously. The little guy.
I'm also really looking forward to what Marvel's going to do after, what other kind of characters they're going to pull, or... I guess from my understanding, I don't know if they're going to just start rebooting stuff after the last...
Let's get a Black Panther film going.
Whatever the last Avengers movie is, because I've already heard talks of...
They'll recast the Avengers in 5 years and
Downey's
start a
not
whole
going to
new...
do Iron Man 4.
Yeah.
Are they going to do Iron Man 4? Are they going to reboot it? Or, I'm sure Hemsworth will stay on. I mean, Evans is gone after Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still, they still keep bringing in these new people.
Yeah.
Are they going to focus more on that? What's going to happen to Avengers?
I think that's kind of what's going to happen, because, from what I've heard, is with Infinity War Part 1,
that's what it's called.
Basically it's going to focus more on, like, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, basically the new wave of the Avengers, and then the second half, or I guess Part 2, will bring in the classic, like Thor, Captain America, and stuff like that. I guess to finish the fight or whatever. But I kind of feel like
that idea.
I kind of feel like
we're getting Spider-Man in there.
Yeah, but I feel like at this point in
a different actor, I assume.
Probably
not at the moment, but probably when that comes out.
As far as I know, Garfield's staying on for the
Yeah,
Sony movies,
what
but
I've
I
heard.
think Marvel's casting their own guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was my understanding. Maybe that's not correct. Feel free to, if you know anything more.
Yeah, because
If,
I'm
you know,
not too
people
savvy.
that work at Marvel Studios are listening to this right now.
Probably.
Totally, because we're super famous.
Not yet. But we will be.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're doing market research, so if this comes up at some point, feel free to correct us on that.
But I kind of feel like at this
Or
point,
offer
though,
jobs.
yeah, that'd be great too.
I'll take a job at Marvel.
We got plenty of ideas, but I feel like at this point, though, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is, they could just keep bringing out these more obscure Marvel characters,
Which
and
I would like a lot.
yeah, because
being
Marvel
a comic
has
book fan,
Marvel
and
has a lot
superhero
of
fan.
really good characters that
I think
are,
a lot of
a
the
bit more
genius to
unknown.
it was that it was all from Iron Man. It was all meant to build up to
Yeah.
Infinity War, which is
Yeah.
a lot of the genius of it.
You know,
And I think the problem with a lot of it before was just these random movies
Yeah.
that weren't really interconnected. But
Now they're all interconnected. Everything has even in like some of the movies they mention some of the events that took place in the Avengers or one of the other Marvel movies. Just not that it's really needed, but just to kind of be like,
just to acknowledge
Yeah.
that this is in the same universe.
yeah,
and if Ant-Man is a big hit, which could be, I don't know, but that just shows Marvel
It'll do decent
rules.
numbers.
Yeah.
They can really do anything they
Yeah.
want.
but
If you're
I
going
kind
to
of feel
succeed
like
with Ant-Man.
I kind of
Well,
feel like
they-
they needed to do an Ant-Man movie
Yeah.
because Ant-Man was one of the original members
Oh,
of
yeah.
the Avengers.
Also, kind of the
Yeah, but he's just
one of the more
considered
ridiculous
lame
characters,
of
too.
the bigger characters.
Yeah.
The Guardians proved they
But
could.
I'm glad they're doing it. I think they should do it. So.
Yeah, Guardians proved they could do something obscure.
Yeah.
But I think Ant-Man will prove that they can do something ridiculous.
Yeah, and just pull it off magnificently as they have with every other film they've done.
Really
Pretty
have
much.
no reason to believe that this won't be.
I've got
really
faith
good film.
in Marvel. So.
Best
Yeah.
Marvel movie? Yeah,
Probably not.
probably not. But it'll
No.
still be a good movie.
But when
I
you just think of Ant-Man, it's like, you don't think, oh, yeah, awesome.
nobody's that excited
Yeah.
for it.
No,
But also with the going back to Fantastic Four, the Ultimate Universe, I really like the Ultimate Universe take on. And they weren't called the Avengers, and they're just called the Ultimates. But
Yeah.
I really like the take on Hank Pym because he was not a good guy at all.
no, Hank Pym had a pretty rough life.
Like Thor was a hippie. It was really interesting.
Well, he's got that long hair.
Yeah, but
But anyway, that's not that important. It's just a different take on the character that I guess
Yeah.
that they could have gone with. That would have been more interesting as well.
yeah,
But I like the direction they're going. So.
Yeah, you can't complain at this point. You know,
No.
they've been feeding us good stuff for going on 15 years now.
yeah.
'Cause X-Men was 2000. Which is,
I wouldn't necessarily call that good stuff.
no, but just with the whole, X-Men started it.
Yeah,
They had
yeah, yeah.
Spider-Man
Well, okay,
with this, and then
Yeah.
after that, but, they've been on this kick since 2000.
Yeah,
Yeah, about
and again, now that Marvel
couldn't be bigger.
has
than it is
their-
right now.
Yeah.
cinematic
great.
universe now, everything's again, as we said, interconnected. I think again, Ant-Man, regardless of how you feel about him, he is pretty pivotal in the Marvel universe,
Yes.
especially with the Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
Because he did create Ultron, so I don't know how that's going to work out since Ultron comes out before Ant-Man. But
I have a feeling they're going to go with Tony
Mm-hmm.
Infinite Ultron. Is the feeling I get, but I could be wrong.
I don't know, or maybe because Hank Pym created I feel like maybe what they
I
could
think since
do.
Ultron's coming out first, it wouldn't really make a ton of sense.
The
Well-
way I was thinking is maybe
I think I get where you're going.
they maybe mention an Age of Ultron that Ultron was
Michael
created
Douglas shows
by
up and,
yeah, or just mention
cameo.
oh, by the way, where did Ultron come from? It's oh, this guy Hank Pym created him, and maybe Tony Stark essentially gives it life, or maybe something like that. Because not it's in his MO to build a robot, but not to give it awareness.
yeah. Well, I think they're also trying to give Tony more guilt. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's not really necessarily that socially conscious, or
yeah.
he needs more of a cross to bear, I guess, is what was my thought on it. But I kind of like that. I kind of like your idea better.
I don't know. That's just kind of what I thought of.
I was also kind of thinking schedule wise, but yeah, that would also kind of be a perfect lead in to Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really think
It's
of
like,
it
let's
like
find
that,
out
but
about-
yeah,
Maybe that's
Now,
why Hank
thinking
Pym is
about it,
kind of handing
for
down
sure.
the torch to
Yeah, let's
Scott
find out
Lang.
about
Yeah.
this guy. Who,
You know, being like, hey, so obviously I screwed up because Ultron's running amok. So here you go. You can take over and fix this problem and give Ant-Man a good name again. So I guess that's kind of a speculation that, or my speculation on Ant-Man.
yeah,
I like that one.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, I actually
A plus,
yeah,
plus.
I thought about
if
this.
there was a higher grade than A, I'd give it to him.
Hell yeah. So, again, feel free to give your thoughts and speculations and whatnot.
Like, comment, subscribe, Dollar Shave Club.
Visit TrueCar.com, changing car buying forever.
Yeah. Well, we'll take sponsorship from anybody, pretty much.
This is free advertising for them at this point. We're just trying.
Yes.
We'd like them to help cover costs.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Production costs.
Yeah.
Everyone's drinking a water right now. It's
Kroger water,
99 cents down the drain right there.
Yeah.
nourishing me.
You know, this isn't cheap. We're
I
free people.
need like lavish hotels and like hot tubs, and I need
We need
all
our
my,
own little podcast, like
Yeah.
room or house, just
Yeah.
to do like we have
The,
to like.
the acoustics have been terrible.
Yeah. So start sponsoring us, and we'll step up our game. But I think we're gonna wrap this up. But any other closing statements or thoughts about Ant-Man, gentlemen?
Feeling good about it.
Yeah, I
Feeling
like
good.
like where it's going. I like the trailer. like-
Overwhelmingly positive from us here.
Yeah, it's a surprise for this coming year in films, and
Oh yeah, definitely.
definitely on the watch list.
Yeah. So
Amen.
there we go. Until next time, everybody. Cheers.